Hello everyone, I'm Nitin Reddy from ECB section. Today I like to discuss about the topic mechanism of electrochemical corrosion. Introduction. Corrosion is a degradation of materials' properties due to interaction with their environments and corrosion of metals. And many materials for that matter is inevitable. Like death and taxes, corrosion is something we hope to avoid, but ultimately it is something we must learn to deal with. The fundamental cause or driving forces for all corrosion is the lowering of systems Gibbs energy. Electrochemical corrosion of metals occurs when electrons from atoms at the surface of metal are transferred to a suitable electron acceptor and depolarizer. Anodic regions tend to develop at location where the metal is tested or to be is protected from oxygen. Mechanism of corrosion. In the presence of moisture, an oxidation reaction takes place on the energized area of the metal surface to elute metal as an ion anode on the metal surface. Oxidation of anode and reduction at cathode proceeds in equal rates and metal corrosion takes place. Normally, corrosion of metal occurs on anode. Types of electrochemical corrosions: uniform or general corrosion, galvanic or two metal corrosions, thermogalvanic corrosion, cervic Reverse corrosion, including deposit corrosion, pitting corrosion, intergranular and explosion corrosion, selection corrosion and selective leaching, erosion corrosion, cavitation corrosion or fitting corrosion, stress corrosion, cracking or corrosion fatigue. Uniform or general corrosion. In this form of corrosion, the attack is relatively evenly distributed all over the surface. It occurs typically under the following conditions. The material is a metal or alloy that is not able to form protecting surface films in the environment in question. Electrochemical corrosion is the only deterioration process corrosion where a mechanical process contributes. The anodic and the cathodic reaction both occur all over the surface, but not at the same position at the same moment. Closely connected to this the concentration of electrolyte does not vary significantly over the metal surface. Second one is galvanic corrosion. When a more noble metal or alloy is in metallic contact with a less noble one, the corrosion rate of the latter is highly and that the former is lower than when the two materials are separated. A necessary condition for galvanic corrosion is that there is an electrolyte connection between the two metals. One of the most important factors in galvanic corrosion is the area ratio between the more noble and less noble material. The larger the ratio is, the more intense is the galvanic corrosion. Third one is thermogalvanic corrosion. A temperature gradient in a material exposed to a corrosion environment may cause a galvanic element and consequently lead to a form of corrosion called thermogalvanic corrosion. The hottest part will normally act as dominating anodes and increase corrosion, while the colder parts are cathodic seats which are protected. It must be taken into account that the temperature may affect both the anodic and the cathodic reaction. Fourth one is service at deposit corrosion. This is localized corrosion concentration in crevices or under dense deposit of corrosion products, dirt, sands, leaves, and marine fouling. The crevice must be wide enough for liquid to penetrate into it, but as a consequence of the mechanism, it must also be narrow. A condition for the corrosion to start is that the liquid is the crevice is depleted of oxygen. The liquid in the surface must be stagnant and the diffusion of oxygen into surface must be slower than the consumption of O2 in the crevice. When crevice corrosion has been initiated, the anodic reaction inside the crevice is mainly balanced by cathodic reaction on the adjacent external surfaces. The most typical cases of crevice corrosion are found on materials which are originally passive or easily passivated. Example: stainless steels, aluminium, anodide, or low alloy steels in alkaline solutions. When these materials are exposed to dissolved aggressive pieces like fluorides, which, which can destroy the positive oxide locally. Conventional stainless steels such as SE316, 304 are liable to deposit corrosion in stagnant or slowly moving seawater. The special type of crevice corrosion is the filtration corrosion, which may occur on steel, aluminum, and magnesium under protecting films of more noble metals, enamel, or phosphates. The one is pitting corrosion. Pitting corrosion occurs on more or less passivated metals and alloys in corrosive media containing chloride, bromide, iodide, and perchloride ions. Pitting potential depends on factors like material concentration of aggressive species, pH, and temperature. The number and size of pits may vary greatly between different materials and from one area region to another of given material. Stainless steels have relatively high resistance against pit initiation and therefore usually only few pits are formed. However, when a pit down has been formed, it may grow rapidly and attacks become serious. And last one is intergranular extrusion. Intergranular corrosion is localized attack on or at the grain boundaries with little or no attacks on other part of surface. This is a dangerous form of corrosion because the cohesion between grains can be reduced so much. The tensile stresses cannot be transferred. The toughness of the material decreases markedly at a relatively early stage, and fracture can occur without warming. A special form of corrosion in aluminum alloy is exfoliation corrosion, which usually propagates along the grain boundaries parallel to the surface. It is most familiar in acrylic alloys. Thank you.